Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu, and as always, I have to thank you guys out there because it's you guys that make the Jobu Report what it is. Now, I was sitting here thinking, oh, damn, Jobu. I don't know what happens to that damn rum of Jobu's, but it sure seems to go awful quick. Damn, Jobu. Looks like you not only need a refill, looks like you need a new bottle. Well, you know, this season has been different than any other season that we've had. I mean, it's just been incredible. And I don't know if you've noticed the difference or not. See, this team is totally different philosophy than what we've had in the past. And by that I mean, in past years, the Dallas Cowboys team has been close. And instead of sticking the course of what got them there of being close, they decide to do something drastic. You know, they sign a big name free agent, or they'll have to restructure contracts to do that, or they'll make a trade and try and bring in a guy that you think will just kind of get you over the hump. But those moves never worked out. I mean, we made the move for Roy Williams. That trade gave up, 2 number ones for him? That was really a waste of some picks. Didn't do much for us. You brought in T.O., You know, T.O. got some good numbers and stuff, but didn't get us over the hump and get us there. You know, we took chances on guys like Greg Hardy or Tank Johnson, Adam Jones, you know, and bringing those guys in thinking that they will be enough of an impact to make a difference for the team. And they never got there. And the amazing thing about all of these big name free agents that they brought in or trades that they made is none of these guys ever won anything big. I mean, the only one that was even close was T.O. in the Super Bowl with the Eagles, and we know the Eagles going to the Super Bowl. Hell, we know that wasn't going to happen. But what it did do was it got rid of valuable draft picks, gave you big salary hits that you had to deal with later on, that ended up meaning that you had to restructure contracts. The other thing that happened that we used to do was rewarding guys with a big fat contract after just 1 year. And, you know, Marion Barber, you know, he was really a part-time running back, but you had a fat contract with him. You know, Terrence Williams, Miles Austin, J-Rat, who turned out to really be a rat. So those kind of moves put us in salary cap hell. Now, here's how you know we're doing things different. Here it was, the Cowboys were playing well, even without Tony Romo, and it's a trading deadline. The New York Jets wanted to get rid of Sheldon Richardson, and we're ready to move him. In past years, the Dallas Cowboys would have made that trade and brought him in, even though he had problems off the field, so to speak. And I am so happy that they didn't make that move. We need some help on the defensive line, but we don't need that kind of help. We don't need to give up first round or second round draft picks because you see what our draft picks have done. It's given us the best line in football. It's given us a great running back. So instead of building it piece by piece, taking its time and taking its natural course, every time you deviate and try to do it real quick, you screw yourself. The New York Giants spent $100 million on their defense, and their defense is in the 20s. The Redskins forever have been trying to do that, and that's never worked for them. I mean, ever. I mean, you could go through the laundry list and think about how much money people have made. What it's done is it's gotten a whole lot of players, a whole lot of money. And the interesting thing is Jerry Jones. Everybody is keyed into what Jerry Jones says. The press, immediately, Jerry says something, boom. The Dallas Cowboys are going to do ba-ba-ba-ba. But think about this. When was the last time Jerry has said something off the wall that the Cowboys follow through on? They don't. He's just the lightning rod for the team. He's over here saying this, but the team is actually over here doing that. You know, he talked about how much he loved Johnny Manziel. Even after he was drafted, he still talked about Johnny Manziel. And RG3. Oh, RG3 is a great quarterback. He's just in the wrong situation. Even Adrian Peterson. It got Adrian Peterson even talking about wanting to become a Dallas Cowboy. You know? So when you hear that he starts talking about Tony Romo is going to be, still the quarterback and all that, yet what happened this week? Tony Romo kind of says, this is Dak's team now. I don't want to mess this up. So when Jerry Jones says something, take it with a grain of salt. Realize that he is the lightning rod who likes to get the attention. And that's fine. Let him be the lightning rod. It's kind of like what Bill Parcells would do. Bill Parcells would have some big quote or something like that to take the focus off the team and the players on the field. Because really, I believe it's Stephen Jones who's running it. It's Will McCray who's doing the scouting department. It's the guys underneath the Jerry Jones that are doing it, and they're just letting Jerry go off to be Jerry. And that's how you know that this team is different from what we've had in the past. You look at it right now, we're not in cap hell. And believe me, we used to have to borrow money over and over again. That's why we owe Tony Romo so much money. It's not that they paid him more of a contract than anybody else. The problem is his contract was the piggy bank. They learned that we're not going to overpay DeMarco Murray. We could have kept him. But they looked at it and said, he's kind of old. Running backs aren't that worth that much money right now. Not that big a hit. We can't pay Dez, Tony, and Murray half of our salary cap. They've learned that you win from the line out. Before it was, let's get all of the skilled players, as they say, and we'll just kind of get some has-beens or some, aftermarket guys to put in the lines. And that's why Tony Romo took all those abuse all those years, because you didn't have what is the key component of a team, and that's the line. So that's why this Dallas Cowboy team right now is in fantastic shape for the future. They lucked out drafting Dak Prescott because you got a franchise quarterback that for the next 4 years isn't going to cost you a lot. You got out from under all of those big contracts of DeMarcus Ware, and you didn't overpay Jason Hatcher and the Terrence Williams, the Miles Austins, all of those bad contracts. We don't have those anymore. You got an offensive line that's pretty much locked up for the next 5-8 years. Your team is young. This isn't the Dallas Cowboys of 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. This is the Dallas Cowboys that are more like the New England Patriots. A lot of good players, not a whole lot of big name players, a lot of good players that play together as a team. And it's becoming the compound of us versus the world. It's drama free. New England, when they have some drama, they get rid of that drama. Dallas Cowboys, they don't have any drama. So that's my thoughts on these Dallas Cowboys and why this team is not like the accident waiting to happen that Stephen A. Smith says. This team is a family. They're young. They're strong. They're put together well. And speaking of Stephen A., I'm going to have another Ode to Stephen A. Smith video later on tonight. And I think you guys will enjoy it because Stephen A. Smith gives us a whole lot of crap. Well, you know what? I'm making it my mission to give Stephen A. Smith. You know who I am, Stephen A. I'm going to give it right back to you. I'm Mark Holmes. That's the Swami, Cowboy Joe Boo. And thank you, as always, for watching the Joe Boo Report.